Welcome to this VR Patience video. In this video, we will begin exploring scenario logic. Scenario logic is visual programming that controls how a scenario evolves over time while considering actions the user takes during the simulation. Scenario logic is created and edited on the scenario logic canvas using the tools of the toolbar, sidebar, and right-click menus of the computer mouse. Using a computer mouse when working in scenario logic makes the process much easier than using the touchpad control on a laptop computer. There are several tools to assist the scenario author. Both sidebars collapse, allowing more space to work in. The toolbar can be placed in the corner of choice by clicking on the grid buttons. The toolbar contains several tools, the first being the mouse, the most used tool. Right-clicking with the mouse allows the author to place nodes on the scenario logic canvas. Once placed, nodes can be moved by left-clicking with the mouse and reposition them on the canvas. Use the mouse wheel to zoom in and out. The Grab Hands tool allows the author to move to another area of the scenario logic canvas by left-clicking with the mouse. When using the mouse tool, a shortcut exists for the Grab Hands tool. Simply hold the spacebar down on your keyboard and left-click with your mouse. When you release the spacebar, you quickly revert to the mouse tool. The Multi-Select tool allows the author to identify multiple nodes and treat them as a single unit. With the tool selected, left-click and drag to surround the nodes. The selected nodes will be highlighted as a group that can be moved as a single unit by left-clicking with the mouse. Hover over the nodes and right-click the mouse. This allows the author to clone, copy, or delete the selected group of nodes. The grouping tool allows the author to identify sections of scenario logic. First, use the Multi-Select tool to identify the section, then click on the Grouping tool. This places a blue group frame around the section of logic. Groups can be named based on the nodes inside them. These groups will appear in the search panel. And when clicked on there, it recenters the scenario logic screen on that group. Once inside a group, nodes can be moved as a single unit, and if necessary, nodes can be added to a group after its creation. Collapsing a group prevents nodes from being added until it is reopened. By right-clicking the mouse while hovering over the group, the author can clone, copy, or delete the group. To remove the group frame, left-click on the X in the upper right corner. Coming in Release 8, we are adding Undo and Redo buttons to the toolbar. These features will also be accessible by pressing Ctrl-Z for Undo and Ctrl-Y for Redo. Nodes available include Action, Effect, Check, Timer, and Effect Chain. Action nodes are used to either evaluate a condition, a check, or trigger a change, an effect. An action is something the user can assess, monitor, or treat in the scenario. Some items may appear to be grayed out. This means those functions have not been turned on in the scenario builder. When the selected action is completed by the user, it triggers the downstream nodes. Effect nodes are used to cause a change either to the simulation or to the patient. Effects can enable, turn on dialogue or media. They can also disable those items. Scenario authors can also use an effect to change the patient. Nearly everything under the Patient Conditions tab can be changed by an effect. Effects can also be used as part of the scenario grading to capture when users meet success or failure criteria. To connect the action to the effect, left-click with the mouse on the action's output and drag the line to the effect node's input and release. This creates the if-then statement. If an action is done, then this effect will occur. A single action can be connected to one or multiple effect nodes. To remove a connecting line between two nodes, simply left-click on it. Another powerful node is the check node. Check nodes are conditional statements that return either a yes or no value and trigger the appropriate branch of logic. Check nodes are used to determine if a condition or multiple conditions are met when an action is completed. Scenario authors can present the user with certain effects that trigger when a check evaluates as true, yes, and an entirely different set of effects if the check evaluates to false, no. Timer nodes are unique. They can be used in two different ways. First and most common, they put space, time, and seconds in between other nodes of logic, like the space between an action and the resulting effect, or a check and multiple effects. A timer can also serve as an action node, triggering a line of logic. When a timer is used with no nodes connected to its input, it starts counting down when the user starts the scenario and triggers downstream effects or checks. Effect chains contain a predefined series of checks and effects based upon either a specific medication or physiological mechanism. Using effect chains can save an author time. To view the effect chain content, select the medication or physiological mechanism, then right-click on the node, then edit. The author can review the node's contents and elect to use it as is, or they can modify the effect chain. Frames can be added by right-clicking on the canvas. Frames can be resized and surround a section of scenario logic. The frame can be named to identify the section. Coming in Release 8, we are adding a comment node, the scenario logic equivalent of a sticky note. Scenario authors can place these on the scenario logic canvas and communicate thoughts with other instructors or make a note for themselves. Finally, settings allow the author to choose the look of logic they want by choosing smooth or angled connecting lines. Thank you for watching this VR Patience video.